Welcome to our podcast. I'm Charlotte,
And I'm Lucas.
and we've brought together young voices from across Europe to talk about politics, society, and the issues that matter to us the most. Today, we have guests from Greece,
Germany and Portugal. Three different countries, three different perspectives, but all part of the same generation. We'll dive into topics like
elections, political engagement, social media, and even studying abroad. Our goal?
to understand how young people feel about politics in their countries and whether they believe they can make a difference.
So let's get started.
So, first topic of our podcast is political parties and politicians, and we are there with Yada from Portugal
Elasteria from Greece.
and Anya from Germany. So, my first question for you girls is which political parties are the most popular among young people in your country and why?
Okay, so in Portugal, the most popular by young people are more from the right wing, extreme right wing, and because of the use of social media, they post a lot of videos, especially on TikTok, talking bad about other parties, and young people, they don't really care about politics in our country, in my country, so they like believe everything they say.
Yeah, in Germany it's also the same due to like social media and yeah, especially social media like TikTok. The young people are like more attracted by the AfD, so they're really far right party, and they like they are manipulating them, so they provoking them with extreme contents, and they bring them against the not like the other parties, and so they achieve that they are just voting for the right party. But we also had like a new development in this year in this elections, because the left party also started like to use social media more, and that's why they also had an increase in their like numbers, and they also made it not into the government but into their position. Yeah.
And actually, in Greece, it's actually the exact opposite because the left wing parties um, uh, promote inclusivity, and they appeal more to the younger audience, like younger voters.
Okay, so we can say it's because using social media. Okay.
So, next question is, do you think young people in your country respect politicians or not? And why is that?
I think like 50-50 maybe. Many people don't care. Many young people don't care about politics. And as I said, they believe everything they see on TikTok. And this far right party manipulates them to believe that the other parties are not good. So like they criticize the other parties a lot. But we're trying like to balance it because like this is extreme and it's not good.
I also think like in Germany, like the respect were somewhere lost because also of the use of social media, because it brings the politicians really close to the population and especially to young people, and especially the politicians from like the far left and the far right parties, and like they get it's more public how the politicians themselves like treat each other, and they don't in Germany mostly don't do it with respect, so they also like calling on each other during their like official and professional meetings, and that's also why it's harder for the young generation to respect the politicians if they don't respect each other among themselves. So yeah, how is it in your country?
Yeah, it's the same actually. They don't really care, but if they did, they're like they don't care.
Yeah, I think Anya from Germany said it beautifully that if the politicians don't respect them themselves, then young people and most of the people can't respect them either. So, yeah.
I think this is happening in all worlds.
Yeah.
In our days.
Yeah. And another question is, how do you perceive political scandals in your country?
And do they have an impact on young people?
Yeah, so in Portugal it's funny because we have a lot of scandals. This is the third time in 5 years that the government fell. I know it's a lot, and there are many scandals, and this like have a lot of impact on young people. They like actually care about it, and they try everything to balance it, make it more peaceful, but like there are many scandals and people are influenced by it, and it's like crazy.
Yeah, in Germany it was like, I think since I know it's the first time like that the government had to be like elected new, because there was also like the our chancellor asked the other parties whether they would trust him still, and like they voted with no, so the majority didn't trust him anymore. So it was also like this year in 2025 the new elections to elect a new government, and I also think that's like partly due to like the mistrust within the parties, and so
Yeah.
They actually try to do something like do strikes, but the government doesn't really hear us, so we can't do much. Yeah.
No. And I think like there have been also in Germany several scandals before it came to like the new elections, and part of that also were like, for example, our chancellor, he was part of different frauds, or he was accused of them, like he denied it, and like that's why nobody really knows whether he tells the truth or how he was like engaged in this whole fraud, and it's like it leads to insecurity in the population, and they didn't trust him anymore, but they also didn't know what to do about it, so it all made it more complicated. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same in Portugal. People don't trust the two dominant parties, but they don't know what to choose, so they pick them all over and over.
So we could say scandals lead to mistrust, and
yeah, definitely.
then you don't know who to choose.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if everyone has scandals and you basically can't trust anyone, it's
Yeah.
really hard to choose the right people to lead you in your country.
Yeah, and this is basically a support for like the more populist parties, and especially the far right party. Yeah, and that's
Our populist party has grown a lot since 2019, like a lot, and they're far right wing, so that's not good.
Yeah, not at all. I think it's important to find balance between right and left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Neither of those
So like the
are
middle is
bad.
the perfect place, but
Yeah.
like this was like both scandals were like in the not that extremistic parties, and after that the population was like, okay, if we can't trust them and they are like supposed to be like neutral and they are not supposed to be extremistic or populistic in any way, there's only like the far left extreme or the far right extreme. So what are we supposed to do about it?
Like in Portugal, it's not that. Fortunately, the two dominant parties, like they're more. One of them is more like central right wing, and the other is more left, central left wing. I could say.
It's really hard to choose.
Yeah.
We want to have in their country like a government.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that leads us to a question: how do politicians communicate with the public and young people? And I think we already established that social media is the main tool.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think you'll all agree, and we can move to another question.
Okay. Next question is, how important is mutual respect in political dialogue today?
Okay, I think it's very important. Like, it's one of the most important things because without respect, we don't have anything, and that's basically what's going on in nowadays. People don't have respect. Politicians don't have respect for each other. They don't even respect themselves. So it leads us to a lot of scandals and not good situations.
I also think like they are being paid, or is their job like to bring different opinions together, and that's basically why they are applied for this post, or like they are what they're doing in their job. And if they don't manage to do this, it's probably because they're really bad in their job, so in general. So maybe they should switch
Yeah.
like to another area.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So the question. Yeah. Sorry. That's your question.
Yeah, another question is what strategies do politicians use to connect with their votes?
Okay, this can be like divided because there's a left wing and the right wing, and I think the left wing focuses more on young people, minorities like LGBT, women, and like this is their base of voters, and they also like a welfare state, the more intervention of the states, and like that's basically it. And like the right wing focuses more on like private business, more old people or maybe more rich people.
Yeah. So it basically depends. Like
On the
Well,
party.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And on their target group also, because for example in Germany, like the Socialist Party like used to like cooperate with the labor unions more to like represent the interests of the workers more than, for example, of the wealthier people in our population. And the Green Party especially, they like had the common goals with the green organizations in Germany, so that's probably what attracted young people more. So just that I knew, okay, this party is like doing our interests and also the interests of the green like environmental organizations, and that was a huge factor. And I think this also like in the last past years it went like a bit in the background because of Corona also, because they had to focus on different like topics in the environment in the government. So
So actually in Greece it's like the same as in Portugal. So the left wings actually tend to support more the younger people, and the right wings are like more conservative and for businessmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what impact does a lack of respect among politicians have on the functioning of the government?
Like I said, the
Yeah.
government fell and it's falling. The government fell like some days ago, because they don't have respect for them and they want to be in power. So like they're always disrespecting each other, so the government is all like falling over and over, and we will have elections in May. So we hope that it will be turn out great this time and not fall again.
and I think that's if they don't respect each other, like they can't make long-term decisions and lasting decisions, especially because it's always then a discussion and they are not able to like admit that they were wrong maybe, and this leads to like lasting discussions and debates without a result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Portugal, like politicians don't admit they're wrong, so it leads to big scandals.
And like in Greece, it's actually like the same. They don't really. The government could fall apart. It doesn't, but it didn't happen yet. Like in Portugal, but the mistakes the politicians make actually are um like not seen by the other parties. So yeah.
Okay, so
Yes. So I think you established like all of the areas that we wanted to ask you, and like everything that was supposed to be said has been said, and I don't think there's anything we could possibly add. I think we know everything, and I hope the situation will get better
Yeah.
in each of and countries. And me and Lucas as well, thank you for being here with us and answering some of the toughest questions that we could have asked. It's been really hard, so
yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for having
we
us.
enjoy this time and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.